Hey, what's going on guys, Migzuba here, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at a RAKDOS LURRUS deck for standard best of one. So this is kind of a alternate take on the mono black LURRUS deck that's been not super popular, but that's been actually really good on best of one ladder as it pretty much hoses aggro. Like, it's been my best anti-aggro deck, but really bad against Sultai Ultimatum. So we're trying out this version that's a little bit worse against aggro, but a little bit better against Sultai Ultimatum. We can go a little bit longer, grind harder, and we have more hand hate, which helps against them, while still maintaining a fair amount of disruption and removal for the aggressive matchups. So we'll get into the list. Obviously, Lurrus Companion, we can pretty much reanimate everything with this card, and we have plenty of ways to reanimate the Lurrus itself in 4 Call of the Death Dweller and 3 Akadem's Awakening, also acting as a Bolt land and also acting as a sorcery for the Magmatic Channeler, which I see criminally underplayed right now, especially in this archetype, because I've seen lists going around that will only play like 2 Channeler, and I absolutely love this card. Like, it's so addicting to play with. So anyways, moving on. We have 4 Vessel, solid 1-drop, 1/1 lifelink is sort of whatever, but because of all the reanimation we have in the deck, it can pretty consistently become the 5/5 demon, so it's pretty cool. 2 Bloodchief's Thirsts and a Deadweight. You can play around with these numbers. The Deadweight is here because it's a combo with Lurrus. It's also a slightly less consistent removal spell than the Bloodchief's Thirst is, and you can't kick it, but the ability to get it back over and over and over again can really come in handy. We don't run any Eidolons because we're not an Eidolon deck. That's why it's a sort of different take. We're more of a Rakdos-y graveyard grindy deck with the same type of vibe, but our card advantage doesn't come from the Eidolon. It comes from slowly grinding our opponent out with Kroxa and trying to get 2-for-1s off the Channeler, which you don't exactly get, but hopefully discarding your card doesn't come as a sort of negative. Like, ideally you're discarding Kroxas or extra lands. So you guys kind of see where the pseudo card advantage comes in. Same thing with Village Rites. Hopefully you sack something that's blocking or that has Death Touch, or, you know, you give it Death Touch with the call, and then you sacrifice to the Village Rites. Anyways, there's a lot of combos you can do with the deck. Basically, that's another reason for the Call of the Death Dweller. We can put the Death Touch and Menace counters on anything, which is why we have the Chargers. I want to reanimate Death Touch Chargers, sacrifice them to Village Rites or have them die, and shoot 1 to 2 things, which is really cool. It's sort of the old Mayhem Devil with Death Touch trick on the Charger. Yeah, so for Village Rites, great card draw engine. We have plenty of sack fodder, like Acquisitions Expert after it did something, Kroxa on the stack, Mire Triton if it's not doing anything else, Archangel Vessel. Pretty much almost all our creatures we're happy to sacrifice, bar like a Kroxa that has been reanimated or a Chandler. Also, it's like board wiper removal insurance, so really solid card. Charger, kind of explained, decent 1-drop. Not a bad aggressive creature, and ideally, we're reanimating it off the call and sacrificing it to get in there with the Death Touch ping. Acquisitions Expert, we have Warrior in the form of the Charger, and we have Cleric in the form of the Vessel. Do we have any other party types? I don't think so. We actually have Wizard here. So Acquisitions Expert can be a pretty... and we have Rogue on the Expert, obviously. So Acquisitions Expert can actually be a pretty annoying card to deal with. Your opponent pretty much has to force discard at least 1 card, or it's always going to be 1 card, but it can act as like a pseudo, not Thoughtseize, but like Agonizing Remorse, where we can look at the opponent's hand and take something, the more pieces of the party we have, and it provides a body. So I'm pretty happy with the Expert. If it was best of 3, I might be inclined to go up to 4, just because of how supported the party archetype is in our deck without actually trying to, if you guys get what I'm saying. 2 Heartless Acts and the 1 Mire's Grasp. I want to cover those together. You can add more Heartless Acts, but we have 1 Mire's Grasp for the same reason that we have 1 Deadweight. It's a recyclable removal spell with the Lurrus, and Heartless Act for anything bigger, which is why we don't run Eliminates, because hopefully either the Mire Grasp, Deadweight, or Bloodchief's Thirst could deal with any creature that you might need eliminated. Also, side note, these cards play around indestructibility and around Selfless Savior and stuff like that, so that's another reason to have them here, is sort of diversification of removal. Mire Triton gains some life, fills your yard for Kroxa, can fill instants and sorceries into yard for the Chandler, can give you some reanimation targets early into the game. So pretty solid card. We're not like a super graveyard oriented deck, but it's a good little 2-drop. Valky's awesome. It's a end game that we have on a 2-drop, which is hilarious. Might want to go down one copy and up an acquisitions expert. We'll see how I play with the numbers over the course of the video, but Valky's really good. Being able to turn into another creature is always a cool ability, steal your opponent's stuff, or you can wait till the late game, play the Tybalt, and gain a stupid amount of card advantage from that. Magmatic Chandler. So, older card from Zendikar. Yeah, I haven't said the word Zendikar in a while. Anyways, so this thing beefs itself up, can become a 4/4 as long as you have 4 or more instant or sorcery cards in your graveyard. And we have 17 instant sorceries altogether. These bolt lands acting as sorceries as well to help pump up the channeler. Hopefully you can discard a Kroxa, help feed your yard for it, hit your land drop, hopefully helps dig towards removal. Honestly, it's just a great glue card in the deck, really happy to have it. And it can be a good beater or a good blocker if you don't want to tap it to cast the cards. Kroxa, grind your opponent out. Also, like, active win con, really solid card. We fill our graveyard here and there with, like, the Channeler and the Triton, but we're not, like, trying to rush reanimate Kroxa. It's just, like, a grindy mid to late game engine. Call kind of, like, brings the whole deck together as well. Being able to constantly recur these low-value creatures that have decent ETBs is super, super solid. And the Lurrus, being able to come back off the call is great. Obviously, you can recycle your creatures what feels like forever based on the 7 reanimation effects and the 1 Lurrus. Hagramoling Tapland that can offer up a removal spell, sorry, also can be a instant for the Channeler. 3 Awakenings because we're skewed towards black, but we still do need double red for Channeler, so we have 3 and 1 here. This one I think is better in this deck because we are trying to reanimate creatures, but you can have the removal spell on the smashing as a option, and we are trying to get double red, and if you don't already have it, just play this as a land, but if not, you can actively try to get to 4 red for Kroxa, or 4 lands and double red for Kroxa. 2 Savai Triomes, cool because it has the land type, pretty much just a Rakdos Temple in the deck, playing 1 castle, so I want a couple more swamps in here. Also, you can cycle it to fill the yard for Kroxa if that ever comes up. And just honestly a solid tap land. Passage, fill your yard for Kroxa, which is our running passage, also fixes your mana. Pathway, obviously we're a Rakdos deck. And split between the swamps and mountains and 1 Locthwain, but we are very heavily skewed to black with the tap lands mostly being black. So that kind of gives you an idea of how you really want your mana base to look. We really only have 3 red cards. We have to skew a bit more to red because of Kroxa's escape cost. So that's it for the deck, guys. If you like the deck, be sure to drop a like on the video and consider subscribing. It motivates me to make more content. Deck list will be in the description down below as always, and let's get into some games. Yeah, hand is good. Let's go. Plenty of combo pieces. Got some sacrifice. So let's start out with the Vessel. Very good. We start out with the Vessel because it has lifelink, and if our opponent doesn't play anything, then we can just start getting lifelink damage. Okay, well, it's Rogues, which we actually hose Rogues pretty hard because of our Kroxas. Another reason to play the deck. Opponent playing around Bone Crusher Giant. Fair enough. So, do we get the Channeler online? I think so. I think we actually want to resolve this card because if the opponent starts milling us as well, then this thing beefs up really quickly. Call is also great against Rogues. Double Ruin Crab. Well, you found the wrong matchup. Let's see if we can find a Kroxa, and we find a Kroxa immediately. I mean, there are 4 in the deck, right? So it's not the craziest thing. But we are going to need a hit land, which is a very valid concern. I can save this for double red. I can also just discard off the Channeler right now to try to hit land to guarantee that I have my other land drop. I can use 1 Bloodchief's Thirst, play Channeler, and potentially hold up rights. So I do want black. I think I try to guarantee my land drop, but then what do I discard? Nothing I really want to discard. Let's start here, because I'm pretty sure I want to take out one of these crabs regardless. Because even though I don't hate having my yard milled, or my deck milled, because of Kroxa, it's not like I'm not going to lose from it eventually. Okay, that resolves. Plenty of cards in there, and yeah, we can't exactly play around it. The Crack of the Fabled Passage. And now this is a 4/4, so we can just get in there and try to hit our land next turn if we really need to. I think we do that. And hold up Village Rights. We can also draw village rights by sacking pretty much whatever. I don't know what they're playing around here. We only have black mana open, so sure, they should have just taken that block. I respect playing around Bone Crusher Giant, but we don't have any red and we've played our land drop. Juari Ruins, okay. Oh, that would have been untapped red. So maybe, like, that's why I'm a little bit concerned. We have so much more red than black. All right, I'll sack. Let's sack the Vessel. I really need to hit my 4th land drop, and it really needs to be red. I mean, worst case, we can always call back a bunch of these goodies. We have 2 Vessels, Mire Triton, Acquisitions Expert. Does the opponent want to counter my village rights? They do. Okay, so if I draw untapped red, I can cast Karoxa, but I think I'm pretty happy just to call back 2 5/5s and say, respect them. We could just end up killing our opponent here. Doesn't matter where the counters go. And we know that's going to actually resolve. I should have attacked first, but it is sort of whatever. I can also look for a land here. I don't think so. Let's just attack with this. If the opponent wants to block, then sure. Yeah, I didn't think they would. They haven't been blocking with their crabs anyways. I'm sorry, guys. I just get excited over 10 power and toughness on the board for 3 mana. And we find Crocs at number 2. We actually wouldn't have hit a land, so fair enough. All right, this is black. We need red, but I can just attack. The opponent would have to block, and they're just dead in the air here. So, I mean, I'm trying to reanimate this Croc, so the opponent has to stay alive. We might see like double drown in the lock on these tokens. Yeah, there's one. Blocks the Ruin Crab. Cool. And a Thought Thief. Okay. So we can call back. What do we call? What do we call? I don't have another 1-drop to call back because this is still alive. So do I just want to buy Lurrus? Buying Lurrus isn't bad. Sure, I guess we buy Lurrus. And opponent scoops it up anyways. I guess I'm taking too much time for them. But yeah, this is what I mean. This deck kind of really hoses rogues. Like, any Kroxa deck just absolutely decimates them, which is another huge advantage of playing Kroxa in this current meta. Okay, hand is a little bit awkward. It's not horrible. We have Triton, some removal, reanimation. All right, let's keep it. We can start out with tapped land. We have red here against white, so this removal is really good. Also, I'm pretty sure I got game, audio to work. I'm not 100% sure though. I guess I'm gonna check, right? But if it doesn't work, my bad. I'm not sure what the problem is. Anyways, let's start out with a deadweight. Because I hear it regardless. I just recognized that during the first game in the intro, there was no game audio, but it was still a pretty good game and it showcased rogues. And I feel like I explained the deck relatively well, so we're just gonna kind of ignore that for a minute. So back to the game, we also start out with this on 1 because we technically have no turn 3 play, so we can afford to play this on 3. Get this down on red, and we're going to take out the Aspirant as well. So these cards putting in work. Heartless Act would not have dealt with the Aspirant. I mean, Bloodchief's Thirst is fine there, but 1 mana removal spells, guys. And we have another Aspirant. And another dog. Jeez, look at it. Disgusting. Absolutely filthy. So, land 3 into what? Acquisitions Expert takes out a card. I kind of like Triton as a Death Touch blocker, making their attacks very awkward. Those are like fine. This would have been good to have. How many instants and sorceries? 1 sorcery. That's another reason why these cards kind of suck to have. Oh my god. Look at the opponent's draw, guys. Look at it. Disgusting. Anyways, yeah, so these cards don't count as instant sorceries for the Chandler. It's the only real downside. It's not too bad, though. So do we block the Aspirant? I think we just take 3 here. We can block this when it gets bigger anyways. I want to put the counter on the Lurrus, trying to play her on Heartless Act. That's fair. Double red, though. Double red, though. So how do we do it? We play land. I'm tempted to buy Lurrus so I can start... Ooh, see, opponent's trying to play around my graveyardy stuff. Eventually I can kill this Lurrus. I can get on that train, like, right now. Or I can just get what they have in hand and start putting up walls. I don't hate that. Okay. I'll start here. It doesn't really matter. They only have one card in hand anyways. Faceless Haven 2. Look at this draw. Absolutely filthy. Art Castle. Okay. That's actually not bad. Kroxa can become a really big body as well. So we're definitely not out of it yet. Also, I'm pretty happy to just discard my Kroxa to this channeler. Yeah, opponent can rebuy another Aspirant. Very good. But at least they use their Lurrus here, so we can... Oh my god, 3 Selfless Saviors. Okay, fair. Trying to beef up their Lurrus. Now it's a 5-4, okay. Yeah. I see the issue. Do I just take 8? Let's get rid of a dog. How many cards? 4? Okay. So how do I want to do this? This is going to be 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we'll just block like this for now. The Expert can absorb more damage later. Them gaining life is annoying for now, but it is what it is. And they sack one of their multiple dogs, so no surprise there. Okay, village rights. Let's do this. Get the Kroxa in the yard. What do I want to cast? I don't really want to cast either of these cards, honestly. I mean, this could actually be pretty good. This could actually be pretty good if I reanimate it with a Call of the Death Dweller. Then it'll have Death Touch and we can kill 2 things. I still don't love it though. Like, I can play it and buy Lurrus. Or maybe just buying Kroxa is better, but they can start attacking past it with the Lurrus by putting a million counters on it. Alright. I'm going to play out the Charger and I'm going to buy the Lurrus. I feel like I need to start getting this online to be able to compete in this type of matchup. Not this type of matchup, but against their own Lurrus. They're getting constant value every turn. And Kroxa's big, but Kroxa's not forever. Okay, glad I didn't play Kroxa. And Charger's exiled. That's very annoying. Alright, I'm just gonna scoop. Alright, nice draw, mate. Okay, hand is pretty good against Lurrus, so I'm hoping that's Rogues. Let's go. Nothing to do on 3, so I think we just start out with Vessel. Nice little lifelinker. Geez, am I really playing Rogues again? Let's go, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, and we actually have all our mana for Kroxa this time. So I guess we just attack. Cool. And play this out. And now we can take a peek at 2 cards. Pick one. Nice little Cleric into Rogue combo. Look at me, I got my own Rogues. That's what I'm talking about. Heartless Act. Happy to get rid of the Act. This, I mean, as long as they're holding it up, they might be able to counter a Kroxa, but it's not exactly the most likely experience. So, do I attack into a Thought Thief? Would I Heartless Act a Thought Thief? Yeah, I think I would. I think that's one of the better rogues to Heartless Act. Okay, now we have to ask ourselves a very real question of, do I play Kroxa? And if we do we play tapped or untapped land? I think this is black regardless, because this can be our other red. Meaning, I'm going to play Charger. So do we hold open Heartless Act, or do we just play Kroxa? Let's start with Charger. And I guess we're holding open Heartless Sack because I'm an idiot. And didn't put double red, but they do have the Thought Thief, so all works out. I would have destroyed this anyways had they had done the whole block attack thing, so it's okay, guys. Minor errors, no biggie. They also just might mill one of my Croxes anyways. Nice. So we just attack all. If they have another Thought Thief, honestly, whatever. I'll take the L on the block. I don't want to play around that card forever. I think right now I actually just play this tapped and buy the Lurrus. They might mill a Croxa. And I think it's better to play mana efficiently than hope they fill my yard enough. Because another very real thing is they don't actually fill my yard enough, and I get to play Lurrus and reanimate something, like, just like this. 2 mana open. Attacks, no attacks. There is an attack. Okay, let's find a Croxa. No Croxa. Okay, unfortunate. Hello. How are you? So, I think they have a Drown. Fairly confident in the Drown being there. So, we call back what? Vessel and Triton. That's not very good. I think we just go for the Croxa. And then they counter my call, and I guess it's whatever. Or is it better just to try to actually resolve the Lurrus? And then, yeah, let's try to resolve the Lurrus. If it gets countered, then we can reanimate it with the call next turn. Have to crack this now because I don't want to. Well, I mean, I actually didn't have to. That's some cap. We'll go like this. I was looking and I was thinking, oh, we need 2 cards in the yard. We need to crack this now in case. Okay, they just have Drown anyway, so I guess it matters a little bit, but not really because we're going to give them the same hand size anyways. Basically what I was saying is the extra card, that passage that went to the yard, pumped their entire team, right? So if we hadn't done it, then we could have still cast the Archfiend's Vessel. They just slam into the story, so fair play to them. If they attack with the Enforcer, I'll trade for a Fireblade Charger. So they just attack with the Thought Thief, that's fair. And now what? Do I call back the Lurrus? So call back Lurrus, play Dead Weight, then make a 5/5. That sounds really strong. And then we can start reanimating Croxa next turn. Alright, let's do that. These freaking rogue matchups are nuts. They enable us so much. Thieves Guild Enforcer. Also, we have just infinite removal as long as Lurrus survives. We can do this all now. They're tapped out, and we're just going to clear their board and attack. Make a 5/5. So opponent definitely has card advantage on us, but we have Croxa, and they're at 8 life. So they're really going to have to put in some work. We also have a 5/5 they have to kill, and yeah, it's just way too much for rogues. We have so much graveyard value that we can just grind them to dust so efficiently. Okay, against Lurrus again. So I guess rogues, since winning that huge tournament, is now super popular. This could just be cycling though, in which case I am sad. And it's rogues again. Let's go. I think our draw is a little bit worse this time, but I am not too worried either way. So Channeler or Triton? Let's go for the Channeler. I like me some Channeler. It will help us hit our second red source, 4th land. Alright, tap land. Let's go, let's find some Croxa. Oh, those are 3 red sources. That's an issue. That is a real issue. I'm more concerned about finding a red source than I am a land. Well, I guess we have up to land 4 online. Do I want to use this now? Oh god, these are tough calls. I guess I can... I don't really want to play Triton, do I? It kind of enables their whole thing. So I guess we discard the Triton. But it's not a bad body, and I guess if we're exiling our own yard anyways, it's okay. I think we drop off this castle and see what we hit. Croxa. Nice. Yeah, let's go for that Croxa then. Get that in the yard. Force them to discard, get that ticking already. And hold open village rights in case they try to remove this channeler. That might help us find our red source. Yeah, you take 3. I hope you miss a land drop at some point because of this. Okay. This is unfortunate. It's okay though. On double Fable Passage. That's fine. That's fine. This is all fine. This is all good. That can resolve. Our plan is reanimate Croxa. Our plan B is decent Call the Death Dweller turn, I suppose. Okay, there's another red source. That's sad. My turn. That's not a land. Alright. Let's look for one. I'm happy to discard this now. Oh boy. I suppose you, but I don't really want to cast it. What am I reanimating if I reanimate? I can go for Croxa and Fireblade Charger, or I can go for Triton and Fireblade Charger. Oh god, this is awkward. Not hitting double red is just very awkward. So, what's the plan? I can't believe they also haven't built me to enough instant sorceries just yet. I can also just play Charger, hold open village rights. I can... Actually, if I shock this in, I can play Valky. I think we start with Valky. Let's shock this in. Or, sorry, bolt this in. And I'm going to hold off on this Call of the Death Dweller. We're going to start with this Valky. See if we can take a rogue that we care about. Oh my god, there's literally no rogue we care about. Okay. Go for the Charger. And pass the turn for now. So opponent has plenty of land, which explains the discard. And has plenty of mill, which the crab is definitely showing is a very real thing. Alright, 3 Croxes. Now this is a 4/4. Opponent's going to call even if the extinction event, but they might just be tempted to into the story. No, not my red sources. How many do I have? I know not enough. I have 1 swamp, 3 blight step pathways. Okay. So they're just going to enter the story, I guess. Let's make even a little less enticing. This could be a counter, but I don't think so. I think they're just holding open into the story. Red source. Alright, that's actually not horrible. That's tapped red source, which makes my turn a little bit more awkward. But it's okay. Take out the Ruin Crab, and we're going to start pushing in damage. Because the opponent's on the mill train, for sure. So we should probably try to kill them soon. We can reanimate another 4/4 and a 1/1. So, yeah, not horrible. Especially if this isn't a counterspell. And we can pretty much force a extinction event. But I guess it's not even great, right? But we forced their hand into using an extinction event, so I guess it's also fine. But in that case, I think I just go for Croxa. And the 1/1, because see, look. If I reanimate this and the 1/1, that's really bad once it gets evented. So I think we just try to play around them as much as we can. Go for Croxa and the Fireblade Charger. And force them to discard something, which doesn't hurt very much right now. But hopefully after reanimating Croxa enough times it will. Because my next following turns just look like reanimate Croxa, reanimate Croxa. They actually counter that? Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Okay, that's completely fine. I guess they want to extinction event this Croxa away, which they're taking 5 to be able to do that. And if they extinction event now, then They're hoping to draw a Crox's solution off into the story, and it's not like exiling the Crox is going to save them. We have 2 more where the first one came from. I'm also kind of reluctant to play this and to activate, which is why I'm happy attacking with it, because we're on a bit less than half our library. Opponent does have land drop 5, so the question is, do you want to play tap land or, you know, okay, Black Source. I guess prepping the Agadeem's Awakening. Valky's not bad, but I still think we just try to reanimate Croxa. I can try to hit my land off the Channeler, but I think 5 points of damage is way more worth it. So, Lurrus, I think we just start cleaning yard. I don't know. This is one of the best answers to Croxa. Let's buy Lurrus. I'm going to force them to use this a little bit awkwardly. And I guess we're going to mill ourselves. I kind of want to hold this. It's okay. Not ideal, but it's okay. They're not hyper milling us anymore. That's fine, albeit a little bit annoying. And now Extinction Event looks pretty good. They just into the story. Yeah, no shock there. And having Lurrus in hand gives us more options. And they're fresh on cards. They have to survive, right? So Extinction Event doesn't look horrible. Takes out 2 of my main threats. Then they get to hold open potentially 2 mana. That is assuming they play land. So a much more controlling version of Rogues for sure. And a lot of these Rogues decks run Crippling Fear, at least the more controlling kinds. Right? This one's running Extinction Event, which happens to be much better in the matchup. Because Crippling Fear doesn't deal with you, and it doesn't deal with you once you're pumped. But typically, that card hoses everything you care about. This is really a rogue in the sense of that it's unplayed deck. And there's the event, so no surprise there. Go for the even. We get to keep our boy. Thought Thief is up an ish. So what's the plan? We could start getting Lurrus online. But I think we just start reanimating Croxes. Let's attack. If they play a Thought Thief, oh, they probably have a Thought Thief. Then at least they go to 6 doing it, so fine. There's a Thought Thief. Okay, and I can actually guarantee that my Lurrus resolves. So, you know what? This is what we're going to do. I know I keep changing my play patterns, but I kind of like this. I know I have a... Where is it? Where is the card? Removal spell. Okay, Thought Thief down. I just have to not get milled because I can outgrind my opponent from here, I think. 1 more land would be great, so I can actually cast Croxa from hand and cast more. Force them to not discard land, because eventually it's just going to kill them. And yeah, Thought Thief milling 2 every turn is a problem. Especially with 20 cards left in the library and a bunch of self-mill cards. So what you got? Lol Mage's Domination. That's a problem. That is a very real problem. Oh god. So this is not the type of rogues build I'm used to facing. Much more controlling. Wind Robber. Thought Thief. Archine's Vessel. Okay. And let's finally, at long last, reanimate you. I don't want to exile potentially important cards. Or my game plan. I wonder how many Croxes I have to reanimate to kill them. We have this in hand, which can maybe be a burn 3. We'll see how we get there, if we even get there. If they buy Lurrus and don't cast it, I can steal their Lurrus, which is pretty cool. All right. And it's the opponent's turn. They're going to get another crab, but they need to supply it with land, or they're going to get another Thought Thief, which mills for 4, which is a problem. I swear that one, Wall Mage's Domination, brutal. Well, maybe I should have been exiling my graveyard more religiously. This might have happened a lot later. Alright, and they attack in the air. I'm not worried about dying to damage. I'm more worried about dying to my own deck. Mill me again. That's 3 cards. If they played this pre-combat, they would have had 2 more mills. So if they cast it afterwards, they definitely messed up. But they might be trying to go for a more efficient mill plan with a crab. Sacrifice Windrobber. Okay, so they're trying to loop Windrobbers forever. I feel that. Plus, like, infinitely block my Kroxa. I understand. They're not going for that. Okay. They're just playing crab. Another land. All right. Well, it's getting close. We're going to see Agadeems. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4. What do they get back? They get back 1, 2. So Agadeems for 5. Hold open, drown, maybe? So is there a way to do this? That definitely helps. Let's get that down on red. So, I can play Valky and try to take something from the opponent. Or I could just play Kroxa. If they have double land, they lose. I think that's worth it, actually. Let's start here. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm not dead on the way back either. The one with no summoning sickness, please. Force discard. They actually can survive if it's double land, if they top not a land off the Windrobber. Extinction event. So we'll see what you have here. No point in throwing this away. Alright. Technically a land. Like, technically speaking. Cycles this. Close game. We're milled for 7 next turn. You probably want to sacrifice that Windrobber to draw a card. I have no idea why you wouldn't. 1, 2, no, 3, 4, 5. We have so much graveyard fodder. We're gonna deck before we run out of it. We'll keep you. Burn the opponent for 3. Okay. So they can cast and cycle a Windrobber. I'm gonna have at least 1 Kroxa trigger, hopefully, as long as they can't remove it here. And then reanimate another one. We'll see how this goes. Unless they top, like, into the story, in which case, well, whatever, GG's. They can attack with the Lurrus for 3 life. They have to throw it away. Okay, does that kill me? 1, 2, 3. Mills me for another 3. And then another 4. So it's 7. Nope, I'm not dead. If they buy play Lurrus, can they get anything back that matters? Not to mill me, no. What's even left in my deck? Not a lot. Some Bloodchief's Thirst, so that could come in handy. I mean, you can buy Lurrus, you can... How much mana do they have? They can buy Lurrus, play Lurrus. The play might literally be, you play that, you attack, you feed your Lurrus into my Kroxa, buy your Lurrus, play out that Lurrus, cycle your Windrobber, and then recast it. Do they have enough mana to do that? They would need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I think that's actually the plan. Like, the best way to not lose. We'll see if they're 5 brain. Most players like to protect their Lurrus, but I just played too much rogues in my life. Yeah, they double attack with Thought Thief. I don't think there's a reason to. Doesn't mill me anymore. It just hits me for more damage, which is not how they're going to win, considering I have 3 cards left in my yard. So they can still do a pseudo version of that play where they buy Lurrus and cast it, and then do the whole Wind Robber thing. But if they do that, there's literally no point in not gaining the 3 life. So they buy the Lurrus. So, not quite GG's. Do I even have a land? Actually, wait, do I? It says I have 4 cards left in my library, but I only have 2. I don't know. Okay, so if I take the Valky, I take this. I think I can win. I just have to do this right. Hold on. How many do you need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Hold on. Let's see if I have a land first of all. I don't know if I do. MTG assistance being weird. I actually have a land. Okay, cool. So, what's the plan? I can play the Valky, grab the Lurrus. Then on declaration of attack, they have to draw with the Wind Robber. If they draw land, I win. Because they just take 3. So I think this is for sure. Start here. I'm concerned about the gain 3 off the Lurrus on the defensive. Opponent's thinking. They can also cycle with the Wind Robber to try to find a counterspell. Alright, they're doing that now. They hit a of one mind. Okay, so I take this Lurrus. Well, that kind of clears things up, because they found land there, they literally just lose. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. I can technically transform my Valky into a Lurrus. Oh god, I think they actually have this. They just have to actually block with the Lurrus. Jeez. Because, like, I can transform and cast it. They discard here. Actually, no, hold on, hold on. Okay, let's do this. 1, 2, 3. No, I got it. We found lethal. Okay, sorry, guys. I thought I found it. It's just... I was just worried about... I don't know what I was thinking. Alright, so we keep this one. Force them to discard the Self One Mind. Then we attack with the Croxa for lethal. Okay, we found the line. Oh my god. Oh, GG. Okay. Whew. Alright, so I had a feeling it was something along those lines. I guess I just had a sort of mental block where I was like, no, if I recast my Croxa, I'm not going to be able to attack because summoning's like this. Nope, I can choose which one I want to keep. Alright, well, we closed. Whew. Alright, guys, and we are back. So, this deck is a lot of fun. Has a pretty good aggro matchup, aside from what you guys saw there with the mono white game. I just thought that was absolutely absurd and had to include it. And as you guys have seen, this deck has a crazy rogues matchup. It's really good against the standard builds that you typically see. The last one was a little weird, and honestly, I should have lost that game. Like, no joke, the opponent just didn't see the line, I guess. Yeah, they should have definitely done the play that I was mentioning, where you attack the Lurrus, gain 3 life, and then buy it, cast it, cycle the Wind Robber, recast your Wind Robber, because at that point you're at 6 life. I don't think there's any way to lose because you gain another 3 off the Lurrus and I get milled out the next turn. But hey, opponent messed up a little bit, but we also played that pretty well. We found the exact line for lethal. So pretty good all in all. Deck's a lot of fun, a lot of little decisions to make, and it's my type of Magic. So again, deck list will be in the description down below. As always, if you like the deck, download it and try it out for yourself. Don't expect the craziest win rate, but expect a decent performance. This deck is not too bad. So that's going to be it for me, guys, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace out.